everybody. Welcome back to Focus on Photos. I am Hannah with the Scott County Public Library here in Georgetown, Kentucky. And today we're going to talk about pet photography. Now, if you remember back in October, I did a video on portrait photography. And the first 3 tips that I'm going to give you today come directly from that video because it's going to be the same for people as it is for pets. The first one is going to be focus on the eyes. Make sure that you have good light. And the last one is going to be to shoot on their level. So I'm not going to go into a great deal of detail on those 3 points simply because I did go into detail in them on the October portrait video. The other tips that I'm going to go into today, I'm going to give you a little bit more detail on because they are going to be specific to pets and honestly in some cases to babies. So the first one that I'm going to go over is going to be to capture their personality, whether they are very playful and funny and always moving around, or whether or not they're just very still and stoic and maybe they like to nap a lot. So you want to get a picture of them napping. But capturing their personality is definitely something that you're going to want to try and do. And you know how to get that. You know exactly what you're looking for. You know how to make your pets playful and happy. So just do those things in order to capture that face that you want of them. My next point is going to be 2 in 1, and that is 1, let them run their energy out, and 2, be patient. So those things go hand in hand. I have a beagle that is very young, and she just zooms all over the place. She is not super obedient. She does not sit on command. So with her, I really have to let her run out that energy before I'm going to get a good shot of her. So I would encourage you that if you're trying to catch a portrait of your pet that has a lot of energy, to let them run that out and to be patient and wait for that shot. Now, the question that I got asked by several of my coworkers, and I've gotten asked by this from friends as well, is what do we do if we have a black dog or a black pet and they have black eyes? So I personally do not have a pet that is black with black eyes. So I borrowed some pictures from a friend of mine. She is actually a professional photographer as well, and she has a beautiful black lab by the name of Sadie. So you'll see pictures of Sadie in here. And Katie provided me with some really great pictures of her. And what you'll notice in these photos is she has really good light and the eyes are in focus. So those go back to my very first suggestions at the beginning of this video, is that you want to make sure that you have the good light and that you focus on the eyes. That's going to be your key to getting good photos of a dark colored dog or pet of any kind with dark eyes. Now, if you have a dark colored pet that has colored eyes, I've seen a lot of really cool black cats with green eyes. I have a black goat with blue eyes. Then obviously the same things are going to apply. You'll be able to see them a little bit better. You're going to have more contrast. But focus on the eyes, and you're going to have good light. That's all there is to it. If you have to use your flash on your camera, go for it. If you want to provide an alternative light source, that's great too. So just make sure that you use those things to be able to get a good photo of a black pet with black eyes. Okay, so the next tip that I want to give you guys is squeakies and treats. Most animals will do just about anything if you bribe them. This also works with children. So squeakies and treats work on babies as well. But if you're trying to get good pictures of livestock, the best way to do that is going to be to use food. I have chickens and I have goats, and the best way for me to get photos of them is for me to bring out some kind of snack or food for them so that they're going to pay more attention to me. This works with my dogs as well. If I want my dogs to perk up their ears, I hold up a treat. I snap the picture, they get the treat. Everybody's happy. A squeaky works just as well. I have a little squeaky that I take on photo shoots with me, and I use that to get the dogs or whatever the pet is and babies to look at me and smile or perk their ears up or whatever the case may be. Now, the other really cool thing that happens when you use a squeaky is often a dog that has their tongue hanging out of their mouth will put their tongue back in their mouth when they hear the squeaky, and they start to pay more attention. With my chickens, I can also use a squeaky. They tend to look up at that because they don't know what it is. You can also cluck or just make some kind of a noise, at your animals to try to get them to look at you. For years and years and years, I would do the thing with my dogs where it's kind of that, I don't even know what to call it, that little, I guess, kissy noise where you're like, and you get your dog to look at you or whatever the pet may be. I did a photo shoot with a senior girl one time, and she had show horses, and the horses were so relaxed with her that we couldn't get them to put their ears up, and that's what mom wanted. So she went behind me and was actually throwing grass in the air, and that got the horse to look over and perk its ears up. So just try little things and see what you get to work. You'll be surprised what will make your animal go, All right, guys, my last tip is this. Don't force anything. You are trying to catch a picture of your dog or your pet, whatever the animal may be, and you want that picture to be of their personality, and you want them to be relaxed or happy. You don't want them to be forced to do something or to be scared. So don't try to force a photo. If you see something on social media that you would really like to replicate with your own animal, sometimes you can do that, sometimes you can't. Maybe do a quick internet search and find out what a pet photographer has done to make that happen. Keep in mind that some of the things you see online are photoshopped. So you want to keep your pet safe. You want to keep anybody that is in the photo with them safe. Keep in mind that children handling small animals can be dangerous. It's also sometimes not good to force children into photos with certain animals that might be dangerous to the child. So just keep in mind that the animals are not props, and we do want a really cool photo of them, but we want it to be a good one that isn't an uncomfortable picture for them, and you don't want to look back on it with a bad memory. All right, guys, well, I really appreciate you watching with me today. If you'd like to access any of the other Focus on Photos videos, they are archived on our Facebook page. You can also access them on our YouTube page. And it is the Scott County Public Library here in Georgetown, Kentucky. And I would have been outside today with the animals doing this video, but unfortunately we are in a full-on blizzard. So I am inside my nice warm house, and they are also staying inside in their nice warm houses. The chickens and the goats are all bundled up out there. So I appreciate you watching, and we will see you guys soon. Have a great day.